In questions which we can answer either yes or no, we put an auxiliary verb before the subject. So, for example, we ask, do you like this class? And not, you like this class. You have to have a word in front of the subject, in front of the sentence. Similarly, we would say would and can and could to ask questions in English. To understand more about auxiliary verbs, subjects, and present and past tenses, and the structure of a sentence in English, watch this video and stay until the end where we will do a little exercise together to test your comprehension, okay? Hi people, I'm Teacher Rod. If you like my videos, subscribe to my page right here. If you want a little more, become a member of my club on YouTube and have extra videos and classes explaining grammar, pronunciation, and challenges. Let's go? So you're having a conversation and you want to ask a question to another person when you're having that conversation in English. It's a basic form, it's a basic way of understanding the language, but it's still a very important structure in the English language. When we ask a question, we have to use auxiliary verbs. But what is an auxiliary verb? An auxiliary verb is a word that comes before the subject, the whole sentence. For example, like I said, do you like this class? We have do you, and we don't say you like this class. But let's break down the sentence to understand what's really happening here, shall we? Do is the auxiliary verb in this sentence. You is the subject. It's the person that we're talking about. And like is the verb. So when you put the structure together, you have the auxiliary verb do, the subject you, and the verb like. We can change this and we can use many different verbs. For example, do you read every day? Do you eat breakfast every day when you wake up? Do you read a book every night before you go to bed? So you have the auxiliary verb do, you, the person, the subject, and the verb. Now, this is what, people? Is this the past tense? Is this the future tense? What is this? Think about it. It is called present simple or simple present because it's the simplest form to express yourself in English. I say I like to read. That's the simplest way I can speak in English. But when I ask a question, I use do. Do you like to read? Now, in the present, we have to use do in front of the person, the subject you. The same thing we say for we. Do we like to read? Or do we like this class? Do I like this class? Do you? Do they? Etc. But when we use the third person, then we need to change the auxiliary verb. It's no longer do, but we use does. Does he like? Does she like? Or does he read? Does she go to school? We say this because the third person is special in the present tense and we need to differentiate. Remember, this is just for the question. If we answer this affirmatively, I would say I like, I go, or we like, we go, they like, they read, they go. But when we say this for the third person, then we have to use the letter S. She goes. He likes. She reads. It goes if we're referring to an animal or the third person that is not a person but a thing. Okay? Now, we're not going to be talking much about the conjugation of verbs today. She likes, I like, we like. Today we're focusing in auxiliary verbs to ask questions. But this is the present, do or does. When we put the whole sentence, the whole structure in the past, then simply you change and you use did. Did he like to read? Did he or did we go? Did we study? Now, notice here that with did, we do not change. There's no change as it is in the present simple. this in the past simple, it's all the same. Did we? Did she? Did he? Did I? All the same. And this happens with all the other auxiliary verbs. Would you or would he like to go? Could he travel? Can we study together? So you simply put the auxiliary verb in front of the sentence. Now, people, if you want to ask for more information, you simply use words like what, where, when, and how. Because not only I want to say like, do you like to study? I want to say, what do you like to study? Remember, if it's the third person, what does she like to study? It's the same thing. But where does he like to study? Oh, he likes to study at home. When does he like to study? He likes to study in the morning. How does he like to study? He likes to study by himself. He doesn't like to be in the middle of a crowd. Simply, those are WH questions, not considering, how is sometimes considered to be WH question, but that's the same idea. All right, people, let's do a little exercise before continuing. Look, I'm going to give you 6 sentences that are they are scrambled, they're jumbled up, and they are incorrect. What you have to do, you have to find the mistake and correct it. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to read the sentences here, and I want you to stop the video, finish the sentences, and then come back. We'll correct them together, okay? These are 6 questions I want to transform into, and they're incorrect. I want to transform them into 6 correct questions. So, question number 1, what means market position? Question number 2, how much it costs? 3, why don't you sell it online? Question 4, when the cars must be recalled? 5, did you went to the farmer's market last week? And 6, is coming your boss tomorrow? Stop the video now, correct the sentences, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, you ready? The correct question for the number 1, what does market position mean? People, here we're using does because market position is a thing. It's not a person, but it still is the third person, as we say in English. It's it. What does it mean? Remember in the beginning of the class, we were talking about do or does for the simple present in front of the subject. Subject here is it. It's not what do you mean, what do they mean, it's what does it, the market position, mean. Okay, let's go with the other sentences. How much it costs? Similar, right? How much does it cost? Remember, we do not say costs only when we answer affirmatively. How much does it cost? Number 3, why don't you sell it? Whoops, why you don't sell it online? I'm just going to invert it here, right? The person, the subject is you. So I'm going to put don't in front of you, not after. You say you don't sell it. It's a negative sentence. It's a statement. But here it's a question. Why don't you sell it? Number 4, when the cars must be recalled. Now, when do or when must the cars be recalled? Now, again, we're just going to invert. In this sentence, must is the auxiliary verb. When must the cars be recalled? Question number 5, did you went to the farmer's market last week? Look, now did is being used correctly, but we don't say did and went. Those two are representing the past, and I just need one representation of the past simple when we ask a question in English. So, did you go to the farmer's market last week? And finally, is coming your boss tomorrow? Now, this is all scrambled, it's all jumbled up, isn't it? Is your boss coming tomorrow? So we're just going to invert the order. Does that make sense? All right, now people, it's your turn. I want you to ask me a question here in the comments below using the correct structure. So remember, you're going to use the auxiliary verb, do, the person, you, and the rest of the sentence, the verb and the rest of the complement of the sentence. Teacher, do you like coffee? You can ask me. When do you need this or that? Okay? Remember, people, if you like my videos, subscribe to my page here so you never miss a new video when I post it. Remember to tell your friends, share, like my videos. This really helps me here. And if you want more, make sure that you become a member of my channel here on YouTube. It's cheap. It's cheaper than you think. It's super cheap. And you will get extra challenges, pronunciation challenges, and extra videos, behind the scenes videos, and you can even have a class with me on Zoom. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Thanks for watching, people.